Hi, everybody. Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to share a couple projects featuring the new Plain Amazing stamp and die set that just came out in the newest release with Concord 9th. And this is also going to be fun. I'm calling this a gratitude giveaway video where I'm going to do a giveaway. Okay, let's first talk about the new products of Concord 9th. This is called the Plain Amazing, and it's a play on airplane, like the view of the window of the airplane, like inside looking out and outside looking in. And one card I make is going to be interactive. And I just fell in love with this. I love everything Concord 9th makes. I really do. And I was so fortunate just recently to fly to Utah for Concord 9th and teach at their summer camp. And it was so fun. I had the best time meeting the Concord 9th staff, and their office was beautiful. I'm probably going to be blabbing away, but what I'm doing here is making a card. And I'm really basically just kind of copying what was on the back of that packaging. I use that as inspiration, and I'm just making what would look like if you were sitting in an airplane looking out the window and you saw this beautiful mountain view. And it kind of reminded me of when I flew to Utah, and I remember looking out that window and seeing the mountains. I'm like, oh boy, we're not in Illinois anymore. It was gorgeous. And as soon as I got off the airplane and I got an Uber pick me up, and I'm not driving, the Uber guy's driving. And I said, hey, did you grow up in Utah? And he said, I did. And I said, so you must be used to these mountains, the view. And he's like, actually, every single day I look at it and I'm in complete awe. Every day, even though I grew up here. And I'm like, it is amazing. I don't know how people drive here without getting in accidents because the view is very distracting. Okay, again, I'm blabbing. What I'm doing here is die cutting the windows. The outer two layers of cardstock are cobblestone. These darker two gray are out of Dove. I'm going to be using all Concord 9th cardstock and inks. Everything that I use will be linked in the description box below. Again, I just kind of follow the inspiration that is on the back of the stamp set or die set packaging. So back to Utah. Can I just tell you now, if you're familiar with Concord 9th, if you aren't, you got to go check them out. Beautiful products. But their aesthetic is what I love. And their office in Utah is so fitting to their aesthetic. It was everything clean, white walls, white desks, very clean with pops of color everywhere. And they let us walk through the little, oh, what do you call it? Like warehouse room where they have all their stamps and dies where they package up your orders. And they're like, go ahead, walk around. And I could have stayed there the rest of my life and just walked through those aisles of delicious product. Okay, what I'm doing here is adding the little window to the inside of the airplane, like you could close it, and I'm just gluing. So this is actually four, layers, 2 layers of cobblestone and 2 layers of Dove. You might think that it could get very bulky, but it actually doesn't get too bulky because the bulk of it is cut out in the middle. And also Concord 9th cardstock is not super duper heavyweight, so this actually is great. And I love the detail. You certainly don't have to die cut so many layers. But when I hold this up, you can just see that detail. It looks like you're sitting in an airplane looking out. But that's not even the best part. Here's a white card base. We're going to make a scene. And it's going to be a beautiful mountain scene. And you could customize this. If you look on the back of the packaging, and I'm sure on the website there'll be tons of inspiration. You can make a tropical scene, or like a camping scene, or an ocean. Let your imagination run wild. So I'm going to cut some blue mountains and some grassy green prairie, whatever you want to call it. So it cuts it just wide enough to trim and it fits behind that airplane window. Now, one thing I noticed was when you die cut the mountain, you could use the top or the bottom of that die cut and get two different mountainscapes. So I went ahead and die cut that out of a lighter blue. I believe that's Harbor cardstock, and then a darker green. And I'm going to flip those over for a different mountain angle thingamajiggy. You see when you layer it, and you can get two different mountainscapes there. So it gives you a little dimension. And then again with the grass, which later on I have to redo my grass because I needed my grass prairie to be longer. So just keep that in mind when you're making your grass or water or mountains, that it's long enough or tall enough that you have room when you put it in your airplane. You'll see later when I build this all up. I'm just using tape runner and to adhere these all together. Okay, basically from here on out, I'm just assembling all the little die cut pieces, but I'm going to blab more about when I got to go. I don't get out much, people. Literally, I do not get out much. I go to Aldi, maybe Walmart, and then I go home, or a sporting event. But other than that, I don't get out. So flying to Utah was like big time for me. Okay, so see how I'm getting the lay of the land, what it looks like outside the airplane window. And then there's a couple different sizes of sun or moon and clouds and all these things you can mix and match and add if you want to make a night sky or a sunset. You can really have a lot of fun with it. I'm going to glue this little sun and kind of nestle it down in the mountains. But what does it say about the Concord 9th staff? They were as sweet as humanly possible. I met the designers, Jenny, I don't know if it's Jennifer, and Julie. And as soon as I walked in, I had to take like a minute to applaud them. I just couldn't help myself. I'm like, you guys, you don't understand. I'm such huge fans of your work. And they were so sweet. We're like, well, we're fans of your work, Laura. And then, okay, so I'm blending a little bit of grapefruit. Going to make kind of a sunset background. Here I made my green grass area a little bit taller so it would fit better in that window, give me a little more room. And so I'm going to go back to blending that grapefruit, and then I also add a little honeysuckle. Okay, so I met the two designers, Jen and Julie, and then I met the beautiful Robin. Now Robin, hopefully Greg doesn't mind me telling you all of this, but hey, I'm bragging on them. Robin is this beautiful woman who makes the cards that you see when you see the Concord 9th marketing, like their sneak peeks and all their projects that are for Concord 9th. Robin makes them, photographs them, and I'm like, again, huge fan of your work, inspires me monthly. And then of course Greg, he's just solid gold. And his right-hand man, Lindsay, she's kind of the glue that holds it all together. Lindsay is always the one who emails us and works with us whenever we guest design, and she just kind of really is the glue. And then also I met Greg's brother, Nick, who I think he's more like in the financial back end business part of it, but he's solid gold as well. I mean, just everyone, quality. Okay, so I'm popping up my window, and I'm going to use a little tape runner, and I left a little opening that I could slip in. This is probably a little backwards the way I'm doing this, but I wasn't exactly sure how high or how low I wanted that to go until I had it all pieced together. So I just, pressed it down into that tape runner and then just snipped off that excess with some scissors. And again, I stamped a sentiment from that plain amazing stamp set. It says miss you already, but there's several other sentiments that you can mix and match. Bon voyage and some other ones there. I'm adhering some clouds and then a bunch of teeny tiny little trees, all in different shades. Some are dark green, pine, and lemongrass. And there's also a little tent, which I die cut out of some brown, and I'm going to glue that there. So it's like a little camping scene that you're looking on. It's just so cute. I love how this turned out. And then I'm going to make one more, even though this is the longest video I've ever made for my own channel, by the way, 17 minutes. But I couldn't resist making this interactive card. Now this would be the view of you looking outside into the plane. So it's a row of windows, and I die cut that into some cream cardstock. Now this is the important part that you're going to need to remember if you want to make this. These two little interactive things, you're going to have to die cut one for each window, and then the round circle oval thing is kind of a frame. You'll see how this all comes together. I'm going to die cut this out of white cardstock, take it off camera, run it through my die cutting machine. So since I have 4 windows, you're going to need 4. So you need a set of this for each window. Hopefully this isn't confusing. I'm sure when you go on the Concord 9th website, they'll probably have a very easy to follow tutorial about how to put this together. But basically it shows you where it's scored. You just fold these little flaps, which are going to be the windows. That's Emma's hand, by the way. She was admiring that card. And okay, so when you die cut it, they're scored, and then there's these little flaps that say glue. So it's very user friendly. You just glue where it says glue, and you just fold where it's scored. Now you can certainly customize this. I'm doing like a landscape, like a wider card, so I did 4 windows across, but if you want to make like a portrait style card, you could do 3 windows across. Okay, so once you fold and glue your little windows, they go on the slider track. So this is very, very easy to put together. Believe me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Now I'm just showing you how this goes up and down, but I'm going to take it off because we're going to stamp a little bit on that slider track and then we assemble it all together. But I'm just showing you how that works just so you can get an idea of how the plain window fits on the slider track. And then now this is going to go on the front of the card. I'm just gluing those little white frames. Again, this is optional, but it gives you a little bit of detail, just extra detail, which is what makes everything special. Okay, so I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this is also going to be like a gratitude giveaway video. And I have been accumulating a lot of product with all the various companies that I work for, which I feel very, very fortunate, but it piles up and I run out of room. And so, okay, I'm stamping these little cloudy skies with Aqua Sky, and I'm going to do this on all 4 little slider tracks. So what I'm going to do here, I'm not really advertising this because I want it to be for people who regularly watch my videos, and I just want to say thank you. So it's a gratitude giveaway. But what you need to do to be eligible to win is you need to be a subscriber. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video, like it, subscribe. I never say that. My kids always like, Mom, you need to tell people at the beginning to like and subscribe. And I've never done that once because I just don't want to be pushy. But to win the gratitude giveaway, you have to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Okay, and then I'm going to pick one winner from this video, and I'm going to package up some goodies that I have and mail it to you free of charge. And it's just a way to say thank you. And I'm going to do this periodically whenever I have time. I have done in the past big de-stash sales, and it's a little bit overwhelming for me to package all that up and mail it. It's a lot. And I thought, what if I just start doing gradual gratitude giveaways? I'm not really going to advertise it. It's just if you catch this video and you're a regular watcher and you subscribe and you like and you leave me a comment, I'm going to pick a winner. Now, another thing I want to say, I've had this happen to me about 4 times in the last month or so. There's some scam accounts out there, and they will tell people in the comments that they've won something, and it'll be like an account like Hit Me Up Telegram Laura Basson. They make accounts with my name in it. It's usually like Hit Me Up Telegram with Laura Basson or something like that. And they tell people you've won. That is a scam account. I will never tell you that you've won, or if I do a video hop with a giveaway for Alta New or Pink Fresh Studio or something like that, they're never going to leave you a comment and say you've won. You're probably going to get an email, or they're going to announce winners on their own blog, something like that. And so I want you to know, if you ever get a comment on one of my YouTube videos telling you that you've won, that would be scam. And I've been cracking down on my YouTube trying to block anything like that from happening again. And I try to stay aware and take a look at it every day to make sure there aren't any more scam accounts popping up. But I just want to make you aware. I will not tell you that you've won in the comments. I will contact you somehow. I'm not sure how I'm going to hopefully, if you leave a comment, can I get a hold, do you have an email? That's a good question now. I'm trying to figure out, how do I let the winner know that they've won? I got to figure that out. Maybe I will post it in the description box. I'm going to give the giveaway a couple of days. I'll write it all in the description box. I'm going to give it a couple days, and then I'll close the giveaway, and then I'll list the winner at the top. And I'll also contact you if I can figure out how to do that. I'm not very techie. Listen, I just make cards. I don't know how to do all the other stuff. I need a tech support guy. Okay. By the way, I'm putting the glue where it says glue. Like I said before, it tells you to glue, and then you just line it up, and on the back side, press down, count to 10, and then look, now you have these windows. And now this little die here is going to die cut little handles, little itty bitty handles for the window. And you get 2 handles per window, so you kind of stack it up, and it makes that a little bit thicker, so it's easier for your little fingernail to kind of open it and close it. So I'm going to glue 2 little handles per window. I'm using some Bearly Arts glue. I love that precision needle tip and that Simon's Stamp embellishment wand. Again, I'll have everything I use linked in the description box because these tools really is what make things work. Okay, so let that dry, but look at how these windows open and close. And it says, have so much fun, adventure awaits. Again, almost copying the card design that's on the back of the die packaging. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now here where I got a little bit spicy, I stripped it up on the top. So I had to add a little bit of Laura Fedora in there. I trimmed some little strips of Concord 9th cardstock and just added some strips. It just needed a little color up at that top, kind of a little empty space. So I added that little bit, and I think that really kind of wakes it all up. Trim off that excess, and then I'm going to put a little bit of foam tape on the top and bottom. You don't want to get in the way of your slider tracks, but adding a little bit of foam tape or something to give it a bit of dimension so that those slider tracks have room to slide. And I'm going to pop this up on a white card base, and this card is finished. I mean, wouldn't this be fun to give to somebody? Like, I think it'd be fun to give to somebody going on a honeymoon or like a vacation. Like, I don't know when you do it, but it was fun to make it, you know? And you could, there's a lot of different sentiments and different things you could stamp to make this card for different occasions. But I had so much fun with this plain, amazing stamp and die set. Make sure and check out the rest of the July release over at Concord 9th. And make sure and leave me a comment, like this video, and subscribe for the gratitude giveaway. And I want to just thank you so much for all your support over the years. Your comments and encouragement and laughs and giggles and enjoying the jingles mean the world to me. And as I always say, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.